We're going to introduce America Chavez in this story. That's a Marvel character that was introduced in the comic books, and this is her big screen debut. She's starting out as a younger version of the character we know in the comics, so she doesn't have the power as the movie begins that she has in the comic books. But she develops her power throughout the course of the picture. I can't spoil the picture and reveal who might be more powerful if one version of Wanda met one version of Strange. So I'll have to let the audience find out watching the movie.
It's difficult not to become emotional about it, to be honest, but it is, I'm afraid, an expected disappointment. We've come to know from those repressive regimes that their lack of tolerance is exclusionary to people who deserve to be not only included but celebrated for who they are and made to feel a part of a society and a culture and not punished for their sexuality. It feels truly out of step with everything that we've experienced as a species, let alone where we're at as globally, more as a culture, but frankly it's just even more reason why this isn't tokenism to include an LGBTQ plus community member. This character is that from the comics. It's not something we've created for the sake of diversity. We've included her because of how awesome she is as a character, and that's just one aspect of her character, and that's all it should be. But sadly, it's also now, I think, politically very charged, and I wish it wasn't. I wish we were having a normalised conversation about this where it wasn't an issue, but we're not. So we still have to fight. We still have to push for inclusion and equality, and I'm very glad in a small way, but on a very big canvas, Marvel and Disney are doing that.
If you're familiar with the character, her vulnerability is her strength, and I think she's incredibly powerful because of her vulnerability, and I think now she has a lot more confidence and control for the first time, and I think that will be new for the fans. Sure, I mean it's not even that it's just Disney and Marvel. This is America Chavez is a character that's in the comics, and so we're just representing the comics honestly, and representing inclusion. And I think it's too bad for the fans that are in other countries and won't be able to see it. And I hope that they find ways to see it, you know, and either by traveling or. But it's you know, we're not in control of that as actors, or even people, you know, higher up from us. So it's definitely disappointing for fans. But I also am proud to be a part of a film that represents. It stands for inclusion and diversity.
Not yet, no. They've made it out of Ukraine, but I'm monitoring their progress every day. Sadly, they're undergoing some medical treatment at the moment. To say anything more about that would be an invasion of their privacy, and too much about when they're coming and how that's being managed would evade mine. But I want to give them some stability after the turmoil that they've experienced, and that's within my home. And then from outside, I've been trying to help other Ukrainian families, nationals that are UK citizens, to house their extended families en masse, which, you know, they want to do, but it's very costly. So I've been trying to help out with that financially in a couple of instances, and working through a wonderful charity called Refugees at Home, which is a great gateway to the government scheme, but also to offering further and wider support that's needed for the psychological trauma that these people are suffering from, that they're coming into our homes with, and that we'll need further help with. You know, however gentle and generous and welcoming we are as hosts, we don't have the skills of the mental health profession to necessarily deal with those. So I would urge people to seek out further help to bolster their efforts, and people are doing an amazing amount, and it makes me very proud. Very, very proud of our country, and very proud of what we can be at our best as a human race.